Hi my Polygon Primitives, it's your 3D Girl AB, and in this video I'm going to add depth to the blade of the sword. So I'm going to come out of wireframe mode and I'm going to go to my face mode. I'm going to press A and all the faces are selected. I am then going to press E to extrude, then I'm going to press G for grab, and I'm going to press Z and I'm going to bring the faces up just a little bit. I'm going to press 1 to my front view, and on the left side is the sharp side of the blade, so I'm going to rotate. I'm going to press R and then I'm going to press Y and rotate it. I'm going to look around to see if that's how I want it. The blade part needs to be a little bit thinner, so I'm going to press 1. I'm going to press G and then Z for grab again, bring it down just a little bit. And that's much thinner. Now I'm going to go back to my front view. I'm going to go to wireframe mode. I'm going to select these faces here, and then I'm going to hold on to Control and deselect these faces, and I only want the faces at the bottom to be selected. I'm going to look around. I'm going to come out of wireframe, and I'm going to hold on to Control, zoom in, and deselect these faces here by dragging over them. I'm going to look all around the blade to make sure that there's no extra faces that I don't want selected. So for example, I don't want this face selected, so I'm going to hold on to Control, drag over it. Hold on to Control, drag over this face right here. Hold on to Control and drag over this face right here. Then I'm going to look below to make sure that only the faces at the bottom are selected. I see extra faces selected here, so I'm going to hold on to Control and deselect these faces right here. Go to now look around, make sure only the faces at the bottom are selected. They are. I'm going to press delete and I'm going to press faces. Now I'm going to go to my front mode. I'm going to go to object mode, look at my pivot, and I'm going to duplicate so that I can make the other side of the blade by pressing Shift D. And I'm going to click for it not to move. Now I'm going to go to my top left, go to object, go to mirror, and I'm going to mirror it along the Z axis. So now I have two halves of the blade. I'm going to go back to my front view. I'm going to select the two halves. As you can see, they're two separate objects. And if you look in the outliner, the first one is called blade, if I only have that selected, and then the duplicate is called blade.001. I'm going to hold on to Shift and select the both of them, and I'm going to press Control J to join them. And now they're both known as blade.001. I can go in and remove the 001 for it to just be called blade. And if I go to my edit mode, I have the center line. And as a 3D modeler, it's best to have a center line when you're working with something that's symmetrical because it helps with making edits. So if something goes wrong with one side of the blade, all I have to do is just select one half, I can delete it and duplicate the other half where there's no mistakes on it. So now I have the blade. So now I'm going to press 7 for my top view. I'm going to press wireframe. And as you can see, there's two different colors for the blade. I want to make a bit of an indent for where the colors meet. So I'm going to press 2 for my edge mode. I'm going to hold on to Alt and select these edges right here. And select these edges. I'm going to hold on to Shift Alt, continue to select more edges. I'm going to come out of wireframe mode for me to see it better. Go back to wireframe to see if the right one is selected. So I'm going to hold on to Control deselect this edge right here. Seem like there might be another edge selected. No, there isn't. Okay. Go to come out of wireframe, hold on to Shift Alt, select these edges right here. Go back to wireframe. Those are correct. I'm going to hold on to Shift Alt, select these edges right here. I'm going to hold on to Control and deselect the edges that's by the gem. Come out of wireframe. There's an extra edge selected here. I'm going to go back to these edges, Shift Alt, select these edges, but I don't want these two edges selected, so I'm going to hold on to Control and deselect those two edges. Hold on to Shift Alt, select these edges right here. I'm going to come out of wireframe. No, I don't want those selected actually, so I'm going to hold on to Control and deselect these edges, except for the ones that are by the gem. I'm going to zoom in, hold on to Shift and select these edges right here. Hold on to Control and deselect these two edges right there. I want the same for the bottom. So after making sure everything that's supposed to be selected is selected, I'm going to now go back to my shading mode or solid mode, and I'm going to bevel this. So I'm going to press Control B to bevel, pull out just a little bit, not too much. I realize that there's a part that has not been selected right here. These two have not been selected, so I'm going to press Control Z, hold on to Shift, select them. I'm going to look just one more time, look on the other side. This needs to be selected. Seems like I have everything. So now I'm going to press Control B, pull it out just a little bit. I'm going to hold on to Shift to slow it down. That should be good enough. And then I'm going to press E and bring it in just a little bit. I'm noticing that it goes in on one side, which is how I want it to be, but it's going out on the other side, which is not what I want. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to press E again, and I'm just going to click, and I'm going to go to where it says Shrink Flatten. Click on that and pull it out. I'll try the other way, but the same thing is happening. I want what is going on one side to be happening on the other side. So to fix that, I'm going to press Control Z to undo that. And press Control Z one more time. Control Z to undo the bevel. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, if you remember from before, I had joined two objects. I'm going to press A to select everything. I'm going to press P. I'm going to press Buy Loose Parts. I'm going to go back to my object mode by pressing Tab, select the one at the bottom, and I'm going to press Delete. One for my front view. Make sure that when it's selected that the pivot point is still along the X-axis. This is going to be important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a modifier. The modifier I'm going to use is known as mirror, which helps you to duplicate what you have on one side of an axis to the other side, and what you do to one side will affect the other side the same way. To do that, add a modifier, generate, mirror. So it's still not modifying the way that I want, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to take off X, I'm going to try Y, still not working, take it off, and now I'm going to try Z. Now it's at the side that I want. And as I said before, what happens to one side happens to the other. So if I select this edge right here and I move it up, it happens on the other side. So now with that selected, I'm going to press 7 and then I'm going to press 9 to see the other side. I'm going to go to my wireframe mode. And I'm going to reselect the edges that I selected before. So I'm going to hold on to Alt, select these edges right here. Press Control, deselect this one right here. Shift Alt, select these right here, select these right here, and I'm going to continue the ones that I need to select that show the separation of the two different types of metals. And because I have my mirror on, what I select on one side will be selected on the other side, which makes things so much easier. Deselect these edges right here and select these. Now I'm going to look around. And even though the other side is not highlighted, with my mirror on, I know that what happens to one side will happen to the other. So I'm going to come out of wireframe mode and go back to my shading mode. So now I'm going to press Control B, bring it out just a little bit, hold on to Shift to slow it down. Then I'm going to click, look at it, make sure it's the width that I want. Now I'm going to press E to extrude, but I'm not going to bring it in, I'm just going to click. Now I'm going to press Shrink Flatten, and I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. And as you can see, just like how one side is going in, the other side is also going in. I'm going to go to my object mode, and if you look at the handle, it has a weird shading on it. To fix that, I'm going to go to Object, and if you look right here, you will see one that says Shade Smooth and Shade Flat. I'm going to press Shade Flat, and now the weird shading is gone. So now I have the handle and the blade. In the next video, I'm going to add the gems.